Welcome back, everybody. We have a lovely guest joining us here this morning, Mariah Burkett. She is with Burkett Entertainment and Eden Event Planning. We loved the last time you came in. You kind of lit up the joint.
Oh, yeah.
with your special effects, which
those
was
special
awesome.
effects were the sparks. What do they call those again? Because someone asked me the name of those.
They're the cold spark machines.
Cold spark machines,
Yes.
where you have a shower, 2 columns of showers went up last time you were here,
Yeah.
and it really opened up a lot of eyes.
Yeah, they did.
And that's when the bride and groom enter the room. You can set the sparks off, and,
Yeah.
and it doesn't hurt anything.
No, you can hold your hand over it like
And we
showed you
did,
guys last week.
and we did, which was really neat.
Yep, and you guys probably saw the alarm go off last week, but
It had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with the
it was
actual
just it was just a coincidence. They were working on something else. It was just the timing was impeccable.
Yeah.
But people are going to remember that, and they're also going to remember their wedding day, one of the most important days of someone's life.
Yep.
And that's where you step in, right?
Exactly. Yep. So as far as the coordination, it's super important to have a coordinator, because that is going to make your day special. It keeps everything so on point and flowing perfectly. So
let's talk about, because sometimes that's a decision. Do I need a wedding planner? Do I not? Can I afford one? And so forth. Talk about maybe just what are some of those things that the wedding planner does that can help make that day and the whole process go smoother for all of us.
I think the affordability thing is the number one reason we hear, can I afford a wedding? Because when you think of a wedding coordinator, you're thinking like Jennifer Lopez, the wedding planner movie. Like that's what I feel like people think of, and my wedding's not that high tone.
And that's the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of people. But you have to realize the amount of stress that is involved in planning a wedding, the actual number of things that need to be taken care of, Michelle, if you want to have a successful wedding and ceremony and reception and things like that. There's so many. If you've never done it before, there's no way in the world you're going to be able to check all the boxes.
Right, and actually having a wedding planner is going to save you money, because you give your wedding planner your budget, and we know who to contact that's within your budget and how to make all of those things happen within your budget. So your wedding coordinator is fighting for your vision, but they're doing it within your budget, and we know how to do it because we've done it hundreds of times before.
Right.
We know the right people to contact. You guys don't have to go through the weeds and trying to pick, oh, well, this person's out of my price range, but maybe I should contact them and see what I can get. It takes all of that away. And it also lets your guests be guests on your wedding day. I think that is so important. You're creating.
Now explain that.
So sometimes when you don't have a wedding coordinator, your guests are responsible for setting up, tearing down, taking care of your dress before you walk down the aisle. They don't really get to enjoy the day because they feel like they're a part of making it happen. Exactly. Yeah. So it lets them be stress-free and sit back, enjoy your day as much as you should,
Right.
I think that's so important.
Now, a couple of weeks ago was a big week and a big weekend for proposals and people getting engaged.
Yep.
And just wondering, what's the whole process here? Because people get engaged, and a lot of times they don't have a hard, fast date of when they're going to get married, but they say, hey, we're going to get married, let's figure that out next. How much in advance do you think they should be getting a hold of you to get things all lined up?
So what we usually say, a year is a pretty good amount of time to plan a wedding, but some people plan them out 2 years. Some people want to be engaged for a while, and some people want to have a longer period of time to plan. It helps you save money. You can, if you're paying for a lot of it yourself, you can save the money to do those things. But a lot of people do. I think that 1 year is usually a pretty good amount of time.
I'm gonna jump on what you just said here. If you're paying for it yourself, and I want to know what is the protocol now, because back in the day when people got married, you know where I'm going with this. You know who paid for the wedding?
Yep.
It was
the bride's parents.
The bride's parents.
Right.
Is that still the case, or is that switched now?
We see more so that they're breaking it up evenly. The bride's parents usually like to take a hold of some of the things, and then some of that tradition is still in there, where like the groom's parents pay for the rehearsal dinner, and a lot of the stuff does go towards the bride's parents. But a lot of people want to pay for their stuff themselves. I see that a lot more and more nowadays, is that they want to be able to cover the things themselves instead of relying on their parents. So
let's kind of walk through just what all a wedding planner does.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of from start, let's say we want the full package with, start to finish. Talk a little bit about just what that process looks like and all the different things that you guys take care of.
Yeah, so with the full coordination, I'm basically there holding their hand through everything, anything that they want. But the cool thing with me is I'm so flexible, and I don't want to overstep, but I want to be there for as much as they need me for. So if they need me at vendor meetings, I'm there. Kind of what happens first is we'll make sure that I'm the good fit for them, and then we go through. I have a very extensive checklist and timeline that we make sure everything is just staying on point. But like we talked about before, budget is the first thing. That's the first thing.
What's the average cost for a wedding nowadays?
Oh my gosh, that's so different for everybody.
Okay, if somebody's getting married and they want to have an average wedding, what should they expect to pay roughly?
Or the average wedding?
Average wedding.
Oh, the average wedding, 15 to 25.
Okay.
It just depends on how many guests you have. Everything is so dependent on.
There.
Yeah, and there's a lot that goes into that.
And the first thing that should be secured is?
We'll have to knock down your budget, but then your venue.
Your venue.
Your venue is going to determine your guest count. If you can bring other vendors in, all of that is determined by your venue.
Do you join them on these venue visits and so forth? Okay.
Yeah,
very nice.
And that's kind of the fun thing, because then we get to see what are they looking for, what's their vision for what they're looking for, and I can kind of see the way, when you walk into a venue with a bride and her eyes light up and she's just like, oh my gosh, this is it. That is such a special moment to get to be a part of. It's just like picking out a wedding dress. When they put on their wedding dress and, tears start to fall, that's the one.
That's the right one.
Yeah.
Okay, so they start with a budget, and then you figure out how many people that you want to invite.
Rough estimate, yeah.
Rough estimate. Yep. Then you find the venue.
Yep, and that usually determines your date.
I would say, and then you have to figure out whether or not they're available. Now, are most weddings still Saturday, Sundays, or are there midweek weddings now?
There is some. You get the occasional, the Memorial Day, Labor Day weddings, having them on a Sunday because nobody works that Monday.
Right.
So that seems to work out really well. But it's mostly Saturdays.
Mostly Saturdays. Now, would you get a price break if you did them, say, on a Friday, for example? Or
a Tuesday, you do.
Yeah.
Or a Tuesday?
A lot of places do offer like off-season discounts and then like during the week discounts because they're not as busy during the week. They don't have things already pre-planned. So they do offer discounts at most places for during the week.
All right, so we have a budget. We have about how many people we're bringing over. We found a place, to have all the festivities.
Yep.
What's the next thing that we take
Next,
care
you're going to get your entertainment. That's the thing that books out the most. And being a part of Burkett Entertainment and help growing it, that is one thing that people are planning into 2021, and that it books out quick. I mean, to get a really good, exceptional entertainment, you want to get them booked. It's necessary.
Do you also kind of get involved in helping them with like resources for dresses and and invites and the whole thing?
Yep, we go through all of it. I will sit down and help them design their invitation. We do the RSVPs. I mean, it's everything. It's tracking those RSVPs can get tricky. But yeah, we do it all.
Talk about kind of how that fee structure is. Is it like a percentage of the budget? And there's different levels of your involvement and so forth?
So when I sit down with a couple and they give me their budget, my fee is included in their budget. I work around, I have my packages, but that package price is included in the budget. So I just take that out automatically out of our budget.
So they don't have to worry about paying extra for that. That's all part of what they expect to pay in the long run.
Exactly. Yep. I stay within that number that they're giving me.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I love and then just how much you care just about making sure all of these details, because it's a process.
Very
it can be very stressful
thing.
And to have somebody kind of on your side to help so that you can actually enjoy the process and the event itself. That makes a big difference.
It just makes a lot of sense.
It does.
So what's the best way for people to reach out to you and Bill?
Oh my gosh, you can, on our website, there's a chat option. Email us, call us, you're talking directly to us, and we get back to you within 5 minutes at the latest. We are the world's fastest response. So
Which I think
I'm telling you, we are.
Most personal response is
that too,
because it's from you.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
From you and Bill, and that's the key. That makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
BurkettEntertainment.com, eventswitheden.com. Very easy. Thank you for joining us
again.
Next time, I believe we're going to talk about some personalized glow sticks.
We are, and those are so funny.
All right.
All right. Looking forward to it. All right.